Saki asks, seeing how Never Lake appeared during the Anti-Mobius saga, is there a chance of Miracle Planet appearing soon? Well, soon is kind of relative since it's time-traveling planet, huh? Time travel humor? Maybe? No? No immediate plans for Miracle Planet, but there are plans. There are always plans. Ghost Hunter UB6 asks, why aren't many brown-eyed Mobians? I think you mean why aren't there any brown-eyed Mobians? And I don't know. Blame the Zorda. Kevin 160 Nitron Karen 3 asks, is there any chance the main Sonic book might face controversy if people compare the 217 cover to the ongoing oil spill? This is back when the Gulf of Mexico was basically turned into one big black oily mess. No controversy because the oil spill was a bad thing, and the cover was shown the oil spill as a bad thing, and honestly I think maybe a handful of people chuckled at the coincidence, but we didn't get any feedback on it. Ilix Garadon asks, Ian, you've been the comics head writer for 4 incredible years now. It's almost 5 by this point. How do you feel you've come along, evolved, if you will, as writer since you started? I like to think I've gotten a better handle on how to structure the stories, on how to pace the stories. I think I've gotten deeper into the heads of the characters, and I'd like to think from a technical standpoint that I've improved. I may be just full of hot air, but that's what I like to think. Dakota Bob asks, in Sonic the Hedgehog 217, we are to find out part of Bunny's backstory. My question is, did you use what Carl Bowler's planned to be your backstory as a basis for what you've written for her, or will it be entirely your creation? It's all mine. I had kind of figured out what I wanted to do with Bunny well before I read Carl's potential notes, which I actually more skimmed than anything else for fear of accidentally using some of his ideas down the road. Podcast DS asks, after reading the Universe blog on the Death Egg, it got me thinking, are you planning or thinking about a viable way to bring back one of the flying battle stations? There are folks who are trying to avoid spoilers, so for right now, I'm just going to say yes. Everyone who's been kind of looking ahead probably knows where this is going, but let's keep it fair for the folks who haven't looked at the previews yet. Mega Hazer asks, how many different ideas did you originally have for number 200 besides Eggman going insane and the Iron Dominion taking over? When I pitched number 200, I actually pitched 5 different story directions to go in. And the one that won out was the Monkey Kong-centric Iron Dominion one, and that one actually got very, very heavily overhauled to the point where it was almost a completely new pitch. So there's a lot of unused ideas that haven't been used yet, and some of them are being repurposed even as we speak. Supersonic 64 asks, what's the story behind Anarchy Barrel and how's it related to Mobius Prime's Chaos Emeralds? Well, Mobius Prime has 7 different colored Chaos Emeralds. Anti-Mobius has a bajillion different sized, different shaped green Anarchy Barrel. And in terms of energies and properties, they're roughly the same. It's just Chaos Emeralds tend to have a more positive effect on the user, while the Anarchy Barrel has more of a detrimental effect on the user. That's to keep it very simple. I hope to get into it someday. Ultimate Tales fan asks, do you know if you will reprint Knuckles' series in an archive book form? Yes! Yes, we will. Keep checking the blogs, keep checking the forums for when we can make a more formal and more detailed announcement about that. Merix asks, hey Ian, I'm liking all these Dark Egg Legion chapters all over Mobius. With that said, I want to know what inspired you as a writer to go from an Echidna-only organization from the Twilight Zone into a multi-species organization under Eggman. Part of it was just kind of an organic one point following the other. With Interjack, or Knuckles as Interjack, or Knuckles, if you will. I know I will. We lost most of the robotic forces under Eggman, and instead of just designing a bunch of new robots and have Robotnik come back with more robots, which would be kind of tiresome and tedious, and we've seen all this before, we had the Dark Legion, which was on the ropes. We had Eggman needing a new standing army, so at the time it made sense to combine the two. And from there, it became the question of, well, if he can't roboticize people anymore, what is he doing with the people under his control? And one thing led to the other, and the idea eventually evolved into the Dark Egg Legion. And it was in part that kind of organic progression of thoughts, and it was also to make the Dark Legion itself, the Echidnas, more accessible to the rest of the book. Instead of just being Knuckles' villains in black pajamas, it was everybody's villains in black pajamas that are cyborgs with laser guns and stuff. Metal Overlord asks, will there be a Metal Sonic that will stay and not get trashed in the same issue or following ones? Metal Sonic is disposable. I don't want to bring him back too many times because he gets boring if he sticks around too long or if he keeps getting trashed. So when you do see Metal Sonic, it's for a purpose. It's supposed to be flashy and neat because, come on, he's Metal Sonic. Lord Exor asks, Ian, if you have a retroactive opinions on certain concepts in the comic that weren't previously addressed under the erstwhile authors, such as an explanation for Robotnik Prime's cybernetic enhancements, would you be willing to share them? Depends on what the previous plot idea would be and where I would reveal it. Just generally on the forum, probably not, because I wouldn't be able to keep as close a track on it as I would, say, in the blogs or in the comics. If we were to have some kind of belated reveal of something, it might be in the blogs, it might be something in the comic. But if it's something as old as, like, Robotnik Prime, Cybernetics, at this point it's probably not going to get addressed. Shadow34 asks, Ian, are there major plot elements in any story or arc that you would like to change now, looking back at them? If you mean specifically that I've written, no, not really. If there was any minor mistake here or there, it's another opportunity to tell a story. And there may be decisions made before I came onto the book that I may not agree with initially, but that's not really my place to change them. Again, it's a story opportunity. So no regrets. Forever forward. Excelsior!